Hello, Afro Ronin reacting to Trapmore Ross, Digga D, UK Joe's most feared shooter. As much as I love Digga D and CGM, I have a hard time believing he's the UK Joe's most feared shooter. I think that he's just saying that to get some clicks, but I'm sure he's done a few shootings and stuff, but the most feared shooter, I'm sure his ops are like,
UK drill story, and today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest, one of the bestest, and if his lyrics are anything to go by, one of the baddest UK drill rappers in the name. I'm talking about Digga D, aka Diggles. But don't let the name fool you. Despite sounding like a character out of a children's cartoon show, I assure you that Digga D ain't anybody to be messed with. Now, I've spent the last week thoroughly enjoying Digga D's third mixtape, Naughty by Nature. It's absolutely fire if you ask me. If you're an American fan, there's a lot to enjoy.
I have started reacting to the mixtape. I haven't finished it yet. I'm gonna release each song by itself. I reacted to it all the way through, but I'm just gonna put out each single by itself instead of the whole hour thing.
On this project, he's got numerous tracks that are inspired by American 50 Cent songs. Pump 101 has a beat that you may find familiar. Hold It Down.
I'm gonna skip past this and get to the important stuff.
Somebody's face open, like goddamn John Travolta and Nicolas Cage in that movie about cutting faces off. Other standout tracks from the project that I'm a big fan of include Load Up. In this BBC documentary, I've followed his career since the days when he was getting his music banned, when he was rolling with the gang/rap crew 1011, who actually received an injunction from the police banning them from making music at one point. But today, with the help of my homie Mark, I'm going to be taking a slightly closer look at Digga D's backstory to understand just how much of a shooter this young man was. And before you say, how are you going to mislabel these drill rappers as shooters and gangsters? Well, let's just take a look at the cover of the Naughty by Nature project. An amazing cover, by the way, which shows Digga D kind of...
I agree. One of the best mixtape covers or album covers I've ever seen. I don't know if he came up with it all by himself, or whoever came up with it, it was a great idea. I like it.
But in different stages of evolution throughout his life. Look, here he is crawling along, his little baby Digga D. Look.
I think I saw a picture of like the deluxe version of it, and it's blue on Instagram. It's blue and it looked different. I didn't pay attention to it, but I'm sure some stuff was different. But yeah, I just remember the cover was blue.
Diggles. Here is a young, what's looking like a toddler, but he's got a little, you know what I mean? He's got a little something. He's strapped up with a... It's that he likes the straps. He likes guns, he likes knives, he likes all kind of weaponry like any sweaty young boy growing up these days would. Here's him holding a couple of pieces. I don't know, maybe some of the gun experts in the comments can let me know what those are.
I know Digga came to the US and was like in Florida or something. I'm gonna assume he's not in the UK showing off guns like that.
This is him on vacation in America, I assume holding a couple of legal straps. But look, he's having a great time. He's got the extended clip in there. You know, how charming. Frankly, these guns are in a lot better condition than the types of rusty musket that UK drill rappers tend to bop around with, but let's go on. In fact, Digga D actually got in quite a lot of trouble in his past life, showing off the tiny, pathetic type of guns that UK drillers tend to get their hands on in a social media clip that apparently quite literally put him in the slammer.
Why? Why do you need everyone to know that you're tough and hard by showing guns online? Especially if you're really out there doing it, using them, why would you do that? Like, I hope you've gotten smarter than that, Digga. I mean, you were still showing guns when you were in the US, but you know, like, if the stuff that I've heard about the UK police is true, I would assume that they would probably assume that you would try to bring those guns into the UK, and they will probably stop you at like the airport or something. I believe that's ZK next to him. Somebody tells ZK to get his ass to the studio. I know the video's old, yes, but still, get his ass in the studio and make some bangers.
Burners for days. That is a young Digga D showing off what looks to be two very small pistols. The sort of, I don't know what they call these sort of baby guns. I hear rappers in the...
Follow at Manny Bait, which is funny because they're completely bay-faced.
UK talking about baby nines. I suppose that's what he's showing off. But it's just kind of ironic, like he's got the gloves on, but I better put gloves on so I don't leave fingerprints on these guns. But also, it's going straight on Snapchat, baby. Straight up bait face, no bally, none of that, and he's just showing off. Homie even told him to show the side of it in case the feds didn't have enough evidence. Goddamn. Digga D.
Yeah, show the side of it. You know, show them exactly what kind of gun it is. Show the feds exactly what gun it is. I thought you were smarter than that, Digga. I honestly did. I hope you've gotten smarter than that.
It would actually later show a literal police statement from him being arrested for showing off guns on social media. So let's have a...
So he got arrested and then he decides to show the police statement. Like as a flex, like just to show like I'm so hard that I can snitch on myself. It's not dry snitching. It is full-blown snitching on yourself.
Little look at this show. This is on UK Drill subreddit. On Tuesday, the 22nd of January 2019, at around 1:30 in the morning, a uniformed police officer armed with a Glock 17 self-loading pistol and a taser executed a warrant to arrest two suspects for possession of a firearm with intent and serious disorder offences. With the individuals at the address wanted for being linked to a number of incidents where shots had been fired and 9mm casings were found. The two suspects had also been seen to brandish two handguns on social media. Burners for days. The officer approached the door and then shouted through it, "Armed police, anyone inside, please come to the door with your hands on your head, do it now." The officer pointed his Glock into the address to cover any threat that might come from inside before warning them about armed police dogs. The officer then heard a...
They even brought police dogs, bro. That's like one of my biggest fears. Armed police and police dogs coming to your door?
male's voice, which very well may have been Digga D, saying, "I'm here, we're coming down." The officer then asked the male to walk slowly out from the corridor where the stairs were, with a young man who he believed to be one of the suspects on the warrant then coming from around the corner with his hands on his head, while the officer continued to point the Glock at him, telling him to keep his hands on his head and walk slowly towards him, with the male being taken away from the address and the next suspect being removed from the property in the same manner as the first. So look, Digga D is really out here sitting in his crib with little tiny pistols, posting them on social media, and the feds are coming around immediately. But why on earth would the feds not want Digga D and his homeboys to have a pistol? Well, people, let me direct you to a little incident where Digga D and his former crew 1011 were involved in a shooting in the middle of a busy London street for all to see. Now look, it's a little bit hard to understand exactly what...
Yeah, I saw this clip, this fight, or whatever you want to call it. It was very confusing. It was like things were happening in different spots all at the same time. People were chasing each other. People were trying to jump into cars.
Going on here, but this is basically just a massive brawl, knife fight, shootout going on in the middle of the street. People are trying to gain access to cars. It's freaking GTA out here. And look, I don't know exactly who this is, but they're pulling out straps, they're rising them up, and they're shooting in the middle of the street. You've got civilians, pedestrians all around here. This is going off, okay? Anybody who wants to say the UK doesn't get busy, there's a big shootout going on right here. These are very...
And I was gonna say broad day, but it's not broad day. It's like sometime at night. I apologize for the camera.
Young men, you got guys running in the street. It's absolute chaos. Knives are being swung, bullets are being fired. It's all out total carnage, honestly, and it's honestly a blessing that nobody lost their life in this incident. Frankly, I don't know.
Unless I'm mistaken, that was CGM versus HRB guys, right?
How good the aim is on these tiny little piddly pistols that you see in these videos. Certainly no red dot scope in any of these. No red.
The aim should be very good, right? Because little recoil. I don't know much about guns, but I'm assuming the aim is pretty good because there won't be any recoil.
Light green light going on here, but frankly terrifying. So, following this incident, that same original clip of Digga D with the guns was circulating on Reddit with people saying, these men are not back anytime soon. So, Digga D ended up getting a 2.5-year sentence, and Digga D's ongoing legal situation was covered in a very...
Only 2 years? I mean, 2 years is pretty long to me, but, like, I would think that he would get more than that. I don't know. Like, how long is it usually for a firearms possession charge? Illegal firearm possession charge.
Very good documentary on BBC called Defending Digga D. In fact, an interesting tidbit...
I watched that documentary already.
From that documentary about Digga D was where he talks about being stabbed in the eye whilst in jail, nearly losing his sight. This is something that he actually elaborated on in lyrics in his track Red Light, Green Light, where Digga says that the police claimed that he shot someone in the face and they lost sight in both of their eyes, and he didn't believe in karma until he got caught in jail and got stabbed in his own eye. With paperwork still circulating on Reddit purporting to prove that Digga D actually beat 2 attempted murder charges, with one being a shooting where somebody did indeed lose their sight, legal paperwork which reads, you have been accused of attempted murder. It's alleged that on a redacted date in 2017, you were involved...
That's wild. Who's just posting that stuff on Reddit? I mean, I hope it's not Digga. Like, why would you... Who has time to go grab somebody else's jail information and just post it on Reddit? That's weird.
In an incident where 2 males were shot with a shotgun and that one of the males was severely injured in the shooting, losing his sight. Basically,
So the guy went completely blind? In both his eyes?
Digga D, aka Shocky Shane, is not to be messed with apparently. He makes amazing music, he definitely has experienced the street life. But thankfully he is now a successful musician, far away from the past life of crime. And frankly, I think that being one of the best and most exciting musicians that the UK has to offer suits him a lot better than being a shotgun-toting shooter. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Are you guys Digga D fans? Is this the first time you've heard about Digga D? What did you think of his new mixtape? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, show some love, all that good stuff. More videos coming very soon. And until next time, gang, I'm out.
All right, shout out to Trapmore Ross. Shout out to him. Yeah, I disagree with that title. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he has done some shootings, but I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that title. I might have to go look at the comments just to see how they're roasting Trapmore Ross and Digga D. Yeah, thank you for tuning in.